Hey Luxers, we're not suggesting that being an introvert is a bad thing, as you could probably tell from our video, 15 signs you're an introvert. But being an introvert can have some drawbacks. People often see you as being rude, stoic, expressionless, or even uncaring. Yet those characteristics couldn't be further from the truth. Depending on how close to a pure introvert you are, there are some skills that will greatly impact your life if learned. This isn't a list of things to do to stop being an introvert, but a list of things to learn to be a highly efficient introvert. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Learn the importance of social interaction. Hey Luxers, we begin here because we believe this is one area that's often neglected. True, introverts like to be in their own company, but there is a lot of merit to social interaction. It's critical to our mental and physical health to have these interactions, because humans are social beings. We need that interaction to function properly. Like entrepreneur, CEO, writer, and keynote speaker Margaret Heffernan said, "For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, debate." Number 2. Learn self-discipline. As an introvert, you probably spend a lot of time alone with distractions at every corner and no one to hold you accountable for wasting time. We know it's difficult. We're in the same boat. You might look at your pile of growing dishes and think, "I'll just wash these and carry on with work." Next minute, your kitchen is sparkling and your work remains untouched. It's not easy, but self-discipline is a valuable skill that every introvert needs to learn. Be sure to watch our video 10 ways to stop procrastinating to help with your self-discipline. Number 3. Time management. Generic sounding, we know, but here's an example. The introvert will decide to read a few chapters before bed. Next thing, it's 2 a.m. and you're still reading. The next morning, you wake up tired because you didn't get enough sleep the night before. It's so easy to get lost inside your own bubble, and the concept of time is blurry. One minute it's 3 p.m., the next it's 6 p.m., and you have no idea where those 3 hours went. So, Luxers, time management and self-discipline are the two key components to enable you to function properly. Number 4. Fake it till you make it. This is super controversial, and recently a lot of people started to debunk this saying. However, we tend to support it with some special caveats. This strategy fails big time in macro situations, but works wonders in micro situations. Okay, so what does that mean, and why is it important, especially for introverts? If you fake who you are and what you stand for, you will obviously are not going to move forward in life in a meaningful way. That's the macro situation. If, however, you fake a bit of confidence in a call, a meeting, an email, or a conversation, you'll quickly find you're actually confident and your opinion matters, because that's what's holding introverts back. But what we'll share next will help you in both micro and macro situations. Number 5. Envision yourself in a certain situation. If you're an introvert and you know you have a big corporate event you need to attend or a social gathering that's on your calendar, then spend some time envisioning yourself in that situation. Play out the role in your head, like you're an actor. Then when it comes to the real-life situation, you've practiced your part and you know it well. The same goes for micro situations, like making that phone call or having a one-on-one meeting with someone. If you need to, draw in the help of a close friend and do a few practice rounds on them first. Number 6. Knowing yourself the best way you can. The best thing about being an introvert is you have time with yourself to think about shit, and you should take some of that time to think about yourself. What makes you happy, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, so on. The better you know yourself, the easier it'll be to find your way in life and be happy. And that's the ultimate goal, right? Happiness? As you know, we spend a lot of time researching this topic from the perspective of meditation. We highly recommend our Mind Mastery course, which you can find on Alux.com. Here, you'll learn how to control your emotions, deal with stress and anxiety, and get clarity in your life. This is all the investment you need for 2021. Number 7. Learn to optimize your introversion. So you're an introvert, that's great. Now, what is it about being an introvert that you can use to your advantage? How can you make the most out of being an introvert? introverts are much more sensitive to their surroundings. A test was done whereby a drop of lemon juice was dropped on the tongues of introverts and extroverts. The introverts salivated so much more than the extroverts because they're said to have higher levels of arousal, which is why parties and big crowds are complete overloads for the ultra-sensitive introvert. Nice to know, isn't it? People also tend to listen more to introverts because they know that whatever is being said has been thought through carefully and wasn't just word vomit at the last minute. Number 8. Work on using the right body language. Without realizing it, you could be pushing people away from you with just your body language. Nobody minds someone who's quiet, but when your arms are folded across your chest, your lips are facing downward, and your body is turned away from people, why the heck would anyone want to come over and talk to you? Smile. Shift your body in the direction of the person speaking to you. Lean in at the right times. Keep your posture open, and yes, introverts, make eye contact. Take to heart what Ricky Gervais said. Body language is more powerful than words. Number 9. Learn that if you focus on the other person, it's easy to shift focus from yourself. And truthfully, Aluxers, people love speaking about themselves. An easy skill to learn, and it'll see you being invited to many more events after that. We highly recommend taking a listen to The Social Anxiety and Shyness Solution by Dean J. Arquette, narrated by Hugh Emily. The publisher says that this book is about the simple yet effective methods to help you interact with others and build lasting relationships. Remember, Aluxers, go to Alux.com/freebook, and if it's your first time signing up, you can get the Social Anxiety and Shyness Solution for free, thanks to our partnership with Audible. Number 10. Don't feel guilty when you say no. Easier said than done, right, Aluxers? Because it could go either way. You either regret the hell out of saying yes when you're doing something you really don't want to do, or you regret the hell out of saying no because you're filled with guilt. In the first point, we spoke about the importance of social interactions and, in turn, saying yes to things. We are not trained psychologists, but one thing everyone agrees on is that introverts are drained of energy from social events, and it's important to recharge when you feel you're maxed out. That means to sometimes say no to social gatherings or family dinners or hanging out with your friends, and being okay with that decision. It does take practice, and the sooner you can get used to saying no, the easier it'll become. Number 11. Value your opinion. It counts. Many introverts believe they don't have anything of value to add to a conversation, like their opinions don't matter or that their peers will think they're unintelligent for thinking a certain way. Be patient with yourself. Remember that Rome wasn't built in a day, and maybe you've had a few embarrassing moments, like trying to strike up a conversation with a stranger and that person brushed you off, or you just couldn't muster up a proper sentence. Instead of saying, "How are you?" you said, "I love you," and you're going to never go out again. Nah, it's time to try again. Maybe this time you'll only say, "How are you, love?" And then the third time's the charm. You'll manage a nice, "How are you?" And you know what? These awkward situations happen to extroverts too. They're not introvert exclusive, they just don't dwell on them. Which brings us to number 12. Learn to forgive yourself. And this doesn't just apply to introverts, but how it differs with introverts is they're still beating themselves up about awkward comments they made at a dinner party 8 years ago. Everyone else has moved on, so it's time you do too. Number 13. Take a public speaking course or join a club. There will always be a situation that you'll have to speak in front of others. An introvert battles to even introduce themselves in a classroom setting surrounded by peers. So spend a little and invest in yourself, so when the lecturer asks you to tell your peers who you are and what you do for fun, you can address them with confidence. You could also join a club. Sounds obvious, but we don't just mean any club. Have you ever wondered why having tough conversations with someone is always easier in a car? That's because you don't have to make direct eye contact with the person. So, to get more comfortable speaking with others, join a running club where you're side by side with someone and not awkwardly staring at them across a coffee cup or a beer. Number 14. Talk to yourself out loud. Aluxers, if you think we pushed the introvert in you too far with our previous suggestion, then start here. talk to yourself. Yes, introverts, we know you do that all the time anyway, but we mean out loud. Do it in front of the mirror. And yes, you're going to feel and sound a bit ridiculous, but when you can master that skill, you'll find it a lot easier to approach others. It sounds nuts, but many introverts struggle with the sound of their own voice out loud. The more comfortable you get with listening to yourself, the more comfortable you'll be talking to others. Number 15. Schedule your alone time so you don't disappoint others. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you don't have friends, but of course you know that. But what can happen occasionally is you've got plans in place and you're overwhelmed and back out. This leaves your friends hurt and disappointed. Schedule your alone time for that day. Learn to make the time and create the space you need to break away from the noise, so that by the time it's your scheduled outing with your friends, you've had the space to prepare for the evening's festivities. And remember to tell others how you feel. This sounds like the scariest thing of all, but just telling someone you struggle socially will be a huge game changer. You'll be surprised because often they'll tell you that they're on a similar journey to yours. People love honesty, and when you can admit your fears and anxieties, you draw people in, and they feel like they can relate to you and trust you. So, Aluxers, what skill do you believe would do well for an introvert to master? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end, you're getting a bonus. Being an introvert doesn't make you cool. Okay, calm down. We hear the loud keyboard tappings from over here. Some people are not genuine introverts, but they pretend to be because they think it's somehow cool or mysterious. People tend to romanticize the idea of being an introvert. Oh, look at me, I'm shy and mysterious. Ooh. Genuine introverts would not behave like that, so it's not a skill, but rather a valuable tip. Don't be that person. Thanks for watching, Aluxers. We're so glad you joined us. Leave us a like if you enjoyed this video, and of course, subscribe because we've got tons more.